She talked about Haiti. She talked about the Hong Kong refugees. She named a whole bunch of them. Uganda, the whole bit. And she'd been to, for some reason or other, she'd been to a whole bunch of these camps. And then she said, the worst camp I was ever at was Palestine. Because at that time, she said, there's already 5. It was, 48 that it was really started, but it was even earlier than that. And there's already 5 generations of people raised behind these.
Yes.
Because, mother went there with their young kids, and the kids have now had kids, and the kids have had kids. And there's now 5 generations of people
That's all I've ever
living
known.
in a concentration camp. And she described Palestine as a campus, and I've never been there.
Yeah.
But she described it, and you could feel the emotion in her heart, her talk, her feeling. And it was really, if I heard it today, it wouldn't be the same. But it was right after, I don't think it would be the same. She might not express it the same, but the 4 days after 9/11, it was a really heartfelt thing. And of course, they were talking about the fact that 9/11 was there was all these anniversaries, but it was actually the anniversary of not the United Nations, but of the League of Nations.
The League of Nations.
Before deciding to do Palestine and do the separation and create Israel.
Yeah.
Because it was the League of Nations things, and then took place after the war with the United Nations. And it wasn't that they didn't offer to buy the Palestinians more and do more and so on. The Palestinians rejected all the
whole
monetary
concept.
offers that would make it more equitable,
Yes.
and have lived as martyrs ever since. But it was just one of those things that
One of those wonderful moments.
what was the other wonderful Iona
Magical
camp
moments.
about? Yeah. What was the other magical moment with Iona? Remember when she got mad at John Turner?
Who got mad at John Turner?
Iona?
Oh.
Didn't he slap her on the bum or something?
Yes, he pinched her bottom. John Turner was the old school, and guys used to do that, and never gave much thought, and women didn't,
Didn't they make a TV series out of that recently?
No, but it's funny because as you get into these things, or these moments like you brought up Jack Monroe at your house when Bannerman's looking for him. Does Bannerman know that story?
Oh yeah.
He knows
Yeah.
it now, okay, because that's the kind of...
I need to clarify. There was nothing. It was just
I understand. I'm just...
we were neighbors, and he
These are
needed to
just-
hide out.
These are just the funny things that happen in life. You never know. You never know who knows who, and what you say will come back to haunt you, and what you do might come back to make you.
30 years later.
I remember a time that I was coming up the hills. Mitchell knows how many times we've stopped and helped people on the side of the road, have been helped ourselves, helped as well. And I was coming up the hill in a pouring rainstorm, just a pouring, a horrible rainstorm. And there's these 3 kids, and their kids are like 18 years old, and it's pouring rain, and everybody looks like they're drowned rats, and they were out of gas on the hill.
Yep.
So I stopped, and one of them jumped in the car with me, and we went up to the Chevron station in Lonsdale, got him gas, went around, went back down, came back up the hill, poured the gas in, and then they didn't have enough battery to start it, so I had cables, and we started the car.
Mm-hmm.
But I went out of my way to help.
Yep.
And 2 days later, I get a call from Murray Pezim. Remember Murray Pezim?
Yeah, of course.
Murray was a character.
Yep.
And
The Pez.
it wasn't his nephew, it wasn't his son, but it was the son of one of his best friends. And he phoned to thank me. And another time, Gloria and I, the starter wife, remember, were in Kamloops, and
Can't boil eggs.
we're pulling out of Kamloops with a TR4, pulling a 20-foot house trailer, a Glendale house trailer. And we stop at the Outlook on the top, and there's this guy with a 230 SEL, Mercedes convertible, a 4-seater, not a 2-seater. And we poured water out of our the trailer into his Mercedes, which was boiling over.
It was boiling over, right?
And this gets more fun, because that was in 1964, something, July 64, I guess, maybe July 65. And in 1981, which is 16 years later, I'm with Angie Dickinson and she's taping a Christmas show. And she's taping a Christmas show with a guy named Perry Como.
Huh.
And when she went to introduce me to Perry Como, I said, "We've met before." And he said, "Well, I don't remember that." I said, "Remember when your Mercedes boiled over in Kamloops in Canada?" And that was Perry Como. And he remembered it as clear as day. It just sort of made the whole rest of the day and night type of thing, right?
That's great.
So helping a guy out on the side of a road can do all sorts of things.
Yep.
And whether you know who they are or not.
Now, did you know who he was at that time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I knew
Okay.
who he was. I didn't recognize him at the start, but he told me who he was.
Okay.
And, I mean,
I think being in the radio business, we had so much fun meeting so many different people that would come to town.
who was your favorite person? What would you think about it for a second?
Probably Bob Hope.
Bob Hope. And there's that beautiful internet email that goes around about Bob Hope going to heaven and meeting all his friends. Have you seen that?
No?
I don't know if I've
No.
got a copy of it or not. It's just a marvelous one where Bing Crosby, the whole, everybody is there to meet him.
He was just so genuine and so delightful. And I had said when we booked him, and no one would have thought we would have, we would
Yeah.
have got him on the show.
Right.
And so when we finally booked him, and I said to his handlers, is there anything that we could do to sort of, something special for him? Like, no, I don't mean anything that was going to cost us much, but
Yep.
just, is there any sort of something small and special that he would like? And the handler said, you know what he really likes? He likes vanilla ice cream in the morning. And he was coming to do the show in the morning.
Yeah.
and-
Morning show, yeah.
in the morning show. And I said, vanilla ice cream in the morning. We were down on the expo site. Where the heck can I get vanilla ice cream? Well, of course, we were right next door
To the
to,
Canadian Club.
yeah.
Yep.
So we,
That's right.
so we went there and got a bowl of ice. It's a huge bowl. I got pictures. Actually, Patricia Bannerman took the pictures.
Oh, great.
And we've got this big bowl of ice cream.
Sort of like you with your omelet tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, but probably not on camera at the radio station.
He sat there through the whole interview, sort of
Nibbling
eating
his
up
ice
this, and
cream.
he loved it.
Oh, that's great.
And so if I guess it's the sort of thing that would sort of stick with them, thinking, well, that was something special. But when I got the pictures, Patricia put a caption on it, and it's a picture of Bob saying, "Thank you, Shirley." Yeah,
She
so
makes
it's-
wonderful. She does wonderful
does,
pictures
yes.
like that when
She
she
does.
puts them together.
And I guess the other politician, well, not politician, but one of my other favorite people, and you're going to be surprised at this, was Pierre Elliott.
Mr.
Well,
Trudeau.
But he was a cool guy.
He was,
I liked Pierre. I walked down Robson Street with him one time, where the two of us just sort of sashayed down the street, and it was an experience beyond.
yeah. He for anyone who'd had an opportunity to meet and talk with
Yeah.
him, he would make you feel like you were the only person in the room. If he was speaking with you, he sort of wasn't shifty. He didn't look around. Wasn't distracted.
Yeah.
He was dead on into your eyes,
Gave you your.
looking at you and talking with you directly, and as if you were the most important thing, and were saying the most important things. I found him just to be a really, truly warm individual
No, did
on
you
a
met
one-to-one basis.
Had you met him in Ottawa when you were there before?
Well, yeah.
You knew him there too.
I knew
You
him when he was.
first. Okay.
I knew him when he was Justice Minister.
Okay, well that would
Yeah.
make a difference
And
too.
we used to have lots of parties and on the Hill
Yes,
after hours.
Yes.
And with Doug Hogarth and Paul St. Pierre. And,
Oh,
and
that
it's-
was the name I've been trying to all night long. I've been trying to remember who. Doug Hogarth.
Doug
I
Hogarth, he
remember,
was,
because he was a very special person. I know. Yeah.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
very special. He was with the law firm here in British Columbia,
Yeah.
but he was a politician
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
And we used to get together. For some reason, I was working in Ottawa, living in Ottawa, but I seemed to migrate to all the British Columbia people. It was amazing.
How did you end up in BC?